Good morning, sir. We are Group 1. I'm Kelly Chu and my groupmates are Jia Fu, Chong Li, and Zhang Hong. Today, we are going to present building services system in the commercial building. In this assignment, we chose Vivacity Mega Mall as our case study. The shopping mall is currently the largest shopping mall in Kuching, Sarawak. It consists of 5 stories that can accommodate more than 300 retail stores and 3,500 of parking bays. Now move to the first building services system, which is air conditioning system. Centralized air conditioning system. This system has been used in Vivacity. It is the most suitable air conditioning system for the building as the shopping mall is a large building that requires high cooling load. This system is distributed into 4 areas, namely the chiller room, AHU room, cooling tower, and air conditioning room. Usually, the chiller room is located at the basement of the building. In Vivacity, we found that the AHU room is located at the location beside the toilet in each floor, whereas for the cooling tower, it is located at the rooftop because it sounds noisy, vibrate, and produce very hot air when generating. Therefore, rooftop is an ideal location to install cooling tower. There are several basic components in this system, which are cooling tower, chiller plant, and AHU. Chiller plant. The basic components of the chiller plant are compressor, condenser, expander valve, and evaporator. So the cycle of air circulation in this plant is the low pressure refrigerator in the gas form will enter the compressor and it will be compressed to become high pressure. Next, it will move to the condenser. Through the condenser, it will become high pressure refrigerated in liquid form. After that, it converted become low pressure when it passed through the expander valve. Due to the pressure become lower, the temperature of the liquids also drop and become cooler. Lastly, it will fall through the evaporator. In the evaporator, the refrigerant absorbs the heat transfer from the chill water, and it finally becomes the low pressure gas used for the cooling the air. Besides the centralized system, we also found that the split air conditioning system also used in Vivacity. It is located at security room. Split air conditioning system is comprised of 2 separate units, namely the outdoor unit and indoor unit. The outdoor unit usually consists of compressor, condenser, and fan, whereas for the component of the indoor unit, it includes evaporator, filter, and fan. There are 7 steps to install the unit. First, select the location for indoor unit. Second, secure the mounting bracket to the location selected. Third, drill the hole for piping. Fourth, place the pipe and cable through the hole and connect them to the indoor unit. Fifth is install the indoor unit on the wall. Sixth, secure the outdoor unit and connect them with the cable and pipes. Lastly, is seal the hole by using the insulating foam to prevent the outside air to access the room. Another component of the air conditioning system is the diffuser. In Vivacity, a 4-way diffuser such as separate diffuser has been installed on the suspended ceiling, whereas the return air diffuser such as sidewall inlet is also installed on the wall of the building. Operation. In the centralized air conditioning system, the cool air from the separate air duct that connected to AHU is dispelled to the air conditioning area through the suppressed diffuser. At the same time, the indoor warm air will be circulated back to the return duct through the return diffuser. Usually, the separate diffuser will be used in conjunction with a damper to maintain the amount of air to be supplied to the room. When the air flow passes through the diffuser, it will slow down, thereby the pressure inside the diffuser will increase. This is because the pressure gains air while mixing with the surrounding environment before being supplied to the bulb area. Therefore, with the help of damper, personnel can control the damper to regulate the amount of air supplied to the enclosed space. Next, I will pass to the Jia Fu.
So now I'm going to talk about the fire protection system. And the works fire protection system can be defined as a life safety system which functions to protect the building from fire. It can be divided into 2 categories, which are active and passive. And the active fire protection system is used to control or extinguish the fire, and it usually requires an action to trigger its operation either by manually or automatically. So firstly, the fire hose reel is an active firefighting equipment which designed to provide a sufficient amount of water supplies to combat with the possible fire danger. In the fire hose reel can be found near to the exit door for the safety of the user. Besides that, it also should be at least one fire hose reel provided in the coverage of every 30 meter and 800 meter square of floor space. When operating the hose reel, the user should turn on the main valve on the top to provide sufficient water supplies into hose reel, and the nozzle attached at the end of the hose enables the user to adjust the direction and the flow of water when extinguish the fire. And the next goes to the fire sprinkler system. As for the fire sprinkler system, it is an automatic firefighting device they use to extinguish or control the fire at their early stages. It usually consists of a piping system that is installed inside the building, and the pipeline, together with the sprinkler head, are connected to the water storage tank at the ground floor. In Viva City Mega Mall, the sprinkler head can be found at the ceiling of each floor in order to provide immediate water supplies, and the sprinkler head will be served as a fire detector and a discharge point of water. When the fire begins, the nearest sprinkler head will be activated and release the pressurized water stored in the pipe to extinguish the fire. And the next will be the fire alarm system. The fire alarm system is a combination of several devices they use to alert the occupants about the presence of fire or smoke by using the audio or visual signal. It consists of a fire control panel, fire detector, manual call points, fire alarm bells, and the emergency lighting. And the fire alarm control panel is served as a central point for all the fire alarm devices to be linked together. When the detector senses the presence of fire, it will send a signal to the fire control panel, and the occupant also can choose to break the manual call point in order to activate the fire alarm system. Once the panel receives the signal, it will automatically supply the electrical power to operate those firefighting devices like the fire alarm, fire damper, and the fire sprinkler to control the spread of fire. The emergency lighting also will be switched on to ensure that the occupants are able to escape safely in the events of fire. And last goes to the carbon dioxide fire suppression system. In the Viva City Mega Mall, the carbon dioxide fire suppression system can be found in those sensitive environments such as the fire control room, electrical and mechanical room, which consists of various electrical components. And the working principle of this system is quite interesting because instead of using water, the system extinguishes the fire by using the carbon dioxide to eliminate the presence of oxygen. It has an initiating device that detects the presence of fire through the heat or smoke. When the fire is being detected, the carbon dioxide gas in the cylinder will be released into the room space. As a result, the oxygen level in the room will be replaced by the carbon dioxide, thus causing the fire to be extinguished. So next, I'll pass to Chong Li to talk about the passive fire protection system in the building.
Okay, so here comes to the passive fire protection system, which helps to slow down the fire spread or the smoke spread. So I will focus on two components, which are the fire door and the fire damper. So when it comes to fire door, a fire door is usually made of timber, which helps to delay the smoke or fire spread. So according to UBBL 1984, sections 164, the fire door shall come with the door closer to operate hydraulically. So there are some fire door that actually made of fully timber, but in this case, in this mall, we are having a fire door with a vision panel. The glazing itself shall be fire resistant. The edges of the door will also need to be attached with the intumescent seal, which tend to be expanded when it reaches a certain temperature in order to seal the gaps between the door and the door frame. In terms of operations, it is just like how we use a normal door, but in terms of the fire door, it shall be remain closed at all times. But there is other case where fire door is operated by the electromagnets, which is connected to the alarm system. So whenever the alarm system is activated, it actually de-energizes the coil and release the door from the electromagnets. Moving towards the second, which is the fire damper, which we cannot really see when we go to the mall because it is installed between the walls or the floor. So a fire damper is a device that is equipped in ducts in order to close automatically upon detecting the heat to prevent the spread of the fire or even the smoke. So a fire damper is actually operated by a fusible device, which is the melting link. It holds the blades open at all times until the links melt. So when it reaches a certain melting point, the blades will close and stop the flame from penetrating from one point to another point. I would like to pass it to Zhang Hong.
Okay, hello sir. So now I will be talking about the vertical transportation system and also the electrical system. So there are two type of components of the vertical transportation system, which are elevator and also the escalator. So for the elevator, there are also have the two types, which are the hydraulic lift and also the electric lift. So both type of the lift are also having the smoke detector, which fulfill the section 153, which under the Uniform Building by Law. At the same time, there is also has an emergency mode, which during the smoke detector detect the smoke, and then the lift will automatically directed to the designated floor, which usually is at the ground floor, and to let the component occupants inside run away, and after that they will turn into the normal operation using the emergency power system, which later I will talk about it. So for and then the vegetable oil and also the biodegradable oil will be used in the hydraulic lift too, because the fluid is a must for hydraulic lift, and it must be oil based, which is more towards to environmental care concept. And then next is about the electric lift. This type of lift is using a pulley system concept. Is very interesting because which is like using a rod with a well to draw the bucket of water from the well. So in this shopping mall, it's using this type of lift using this concept, which means like the elevator car will be pulled out by the well and also the rod slower and then to reach a certain floor level like that. Okay, for the escalator part, there are two types of arrangement of the escalator, which are two-way traffic parallel and also the two-way traffic crisscross. So in this shopping mall, all of the escalator has followed the Malaysian standard safety rules for the construction and installation. So for example, like all of the escalator has installed the safety device such as the complex switch, emergency stop button, handrail, and etc. And then for the most interesting part for this escalator is that the installation cost for the escalator, for each escalator, is cost around 300,000 and to 400,000, which almost can possess a single-story residential building already. And then imagine that there are around 20 escalators in this shopping mall, so the amount is very big and crazy. So for the next is about the electrical system. There are three types of systems I will be talking about, which are transformer, emergency power system, and also the distribution system. So for the transformer, there are two types of transformer will be using in this shopping mall, which the oil insulated transformer and also the dry type transformer. So for the oil insulated transformer, is need to like more frequently maintenance to do like the oil test, because it has a oil that is easily being contaminated, so that they need to like every year to do a oil test to check that whether it's being contaminated or not. And then it's also non-hygroscopic, which the encapsulation will help to prevent the moisture to penetrate to the effect of the winding material. And then next is about the dry type transformer. It's not frequently maintenance like the oil insulated transformer, because it has a highly resistant to the chemical contaminants for the oil test. So no need to do like frequently, such as the oil insulated transformer. And then it's also very interesting about that, because through the research we found that this dry type of transformer will be more likely to purchase by the customer, because it's suggested to more operate in indoor, because it does not has the oil that will be easily cause the fire in the building, and then it also minimize the risk of fire hazard, and then enable the customer to purchase shopping with more safety. So next is about the emergency power system. So this system using in this shopping mall also has fulfill the requirement of the UBBL, which under the section 253, which whether either need to install a generator or a storage battery. And then this building is using the diesel type of generator, which has the longer lifetimes, almost around 15 years. And then the diesel fuel also located beside the diesel generator, which like so that the diesel generator can operate 24 hours every day. And the interesting part for this system is that this system also will be used in the cinema to prevent that the customer cannot watch their movie on time. And then next is about the distribution system. There are two types of distribution system, which are radial distribution and ring distribution. So for the radial distribution, it requires lesser cables, which individual connections to the certain area or the floors, which such as the for example like the lift, escalator, security room, and etc. So next is about the ring distribution. This type of distribution is require more fewer cables, as you can see in the figure. Like it's operate like a ring concept, which like is from the main cables and the link to every distribution cables of the retail shop like that, and then as a round shape, then come back to a main cable again, and then keep it cycle around, transmit the electric around. Yeah, that's all from me. So I will pass to Kelly Ong.
Okay, so in order to summarize all this, I will say that the building services system available in Vivacity Megamo are meeting the government regulations and requirements. So throughout our research on this topic, we know that there comes with like various installations, operations, or even the maintenance. So the building services system plays an important role in making the building more functional, comfortable, efficient, and secure. So it really means that how important we should have all this building services system to work out the functions of the buildings perfectly. From ventilations and air conditioning system, fire protection system, vertical transportation system, all the way towards the electrical systems. That's all from us. Thank you.